was, I believe, LeBron with like 2 per game. I think second place was definitely Russell Westbrook, which had like 4 or 5 per game.
Okay.
Then you go to James Harden. Ask how many plays are set up for isolation for James Harden per game.
You probably have a good like 10 to 15.
19.
Yeah.
19 plays per game.
Yeah.
Are isolation plays for James Harden.
Makes sense.
And I'm going to go back to my original point of why James Harden is the primary exploiter of the rules in such an amazing way. There's something called the 0 step in NBA that a lot of people don't pay attention to. And this is why James Harden's step back is not a travel. Because in your gather, you get a gather and then you're supposed to get 2 steps. But what people don't realize, linking those 2 steps is a 0 step. So while your gather is finishing, you get 1 step and then you get your initial 2 following that. So you technically get 3 steps, but that first step is counted as the 0 step because it's still part of your gather.
Right.
So this is how James Harden gets you on the Euro every time he goes. His Euro is different than anyone else's Euro because everyone else's is 2 moves.
Yeah.
It's just boom, boom. James Harden is not. He picks up the dribble with his 0 step. He sees which way your body's going, and then that's the way he goes with his Euro.
Yeah.
Right, left. Or he picks up his dribble. He's stationary on 2 feet at that point, so he can choose which way he's going depending on which way your body going.
Yeah.
Left, right.
Yeah.
Same thing with his step back. That first dribble, then you have 1 step, and then you have 1, 2.
Yeah.
To set your feet.
Mm-hmm.
The 0 step. James Harden.
James Harden, and
genius.
I was always not in the James Harden's camp, but to me, like in the playoffs will come around, and I was always like, oh yeah, he a choke artist, and he had these opportunities, but then I really think about it, and I think about what he has went against.
Yes.
In these last, he's went against one of the greatest franchise dynasties we ever seen in the Golden State Warriors, like back to back to back.
It's just like what Stockton and Malone had to go up against.
Right.
Great players. That's why they never won chips, because they had to play.
Well, they had to go against Jordan. Like 2 consecutive years, they had to go against Jordan. Like so they had to go against that Warriors team, and then his running mates, like Chris Paul, got hurt in the one series. All right, they lose that one, and then the next series after that, last year I thought they should have won that series. Like they was down, was it down 3-2? And then they lost in that game 6. But it's just one of those things where like I kind of just let that shit go now.
Yeah.
Like I try not to hold it against him because he's such an amazing player. You know what I'm saying? Like what he's doing,
the best scorer in the game.
He might be and I know this might sound like an exaggeration. He might be the best offensive player I think I've ever seen.
It's not exaggeration,
like
because
it's ridiculous what he does with on the basketball
That's
court.
it right there. No one moves the way he moves.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Like the ability to create his shot, I've never seen anybody do it like that.
Seriously.
I've seen people do it with contact or with creating space with, jump step backs or, hop steps or things like that. This dude, if he don't out dribble you, he's going to blow by you. And if he doesn't blow by you, he's going to get the contact and he's still going to finish on you because he's strong.
Yeah.
Yes. And don't step off because I'm going to pull it on you.
Right.
Like, what can you do with that? It's what Melo could have been if he was a guard. Like, because if you think about Denver Melo, that's exactly how he was. He can get to any spot on the floor. He can back you down. He can go to the paint. He'll jam on you. He can shoot 3. But he didn't have the ball handle that James Harden got. That's the factor.
The way he's able to break down his defender. Like you said, they run all these ISOs. When you watch Houston play, it's no screens.
He's not getting no screen set.
It's one-on-one. Everybody spaced out.
Can you stop me?
Yeah, nobody can guard him one-on-one. Like, there's nobody that can guard him one-on-one right now. And majority of these series, the only 2 players I could think of would be like Kawhi Leonard, who will do a decent job with him one-on-one. Iggy. I think Iggy might probably do a decent job. But it's just one of those things. That's he just blow bys anybody, and then he's a great passer on top of that. Like that's the one element of his game that a lot of people don't talk about. Like his scoring,
he scores so much.
Yeah, exactly. The man averaged 35 points again led the lead in points per game. But then the man is an awesome passer.
He averages 6 or 7 assists a game.
Man, he averages 10
in the bubble.
Yes.
What?
I think. Well, I got to go look at the stats, but
probably
the man
in the bubble, he's been passing a lot more.
And this Houston offense, man, and they shoot it's threes or layups. It's like, are we gonna get a layup or we're gonna get a three? Simple as that.
They cut all the other shit out. There's no mid range. There's no risky plays.
Right.
You're either shooting a three, we're setting you up for a three, or we're ISO balling to James Harden to go to the basket.
And what they did, so they really when they traded Capella, they did that for Westbrook because they wanted Westbrook.
Westbrook's their best rebounder.
Westbrook is pretty much their pseudo center. Like he's their big man.
He's their best rebounder.
He's crashing down. Exactly. He's crashing down. He's going for the offensive rebounds on misses. He's going to get the defensive rebounds. He's pushing the break there for you guys. He's not a great shooter.
That's what's important right there.
Yeah.
When you get the rebound and you have the ability to push.
Yes.
And you're actually a point guard.
Right. And he's gone.
He's like, bye.
But now they're doing what they're doing to OKC right now without even Westbrook in the lineup.
It's James Harden.
Man,
he's unreal.
You guys played him in the second round?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be tough.
That's what I'm saying. I'm scared.
Tough.
But
y'all got AD and LeBron.
We big as fuck.
Yeah.
That's what's going to save us. And not just that, we got JaVale and we got Dwight.
That's going to be a very interesting matchup.
Speed versus size.
That's going to be a very interesting, because it's literally two different elements of games colliding against, like, styles makes matchups. And this is the perfect example.
What really scares me too is the way the officiating has been. It's been some of the worst officiating I've seen.
Oh man, damn.
Period.
It really has
Not
been.
just on our games. I'm talking bubble wide.
League wide.
It's been terrible officiating. It's like my cousin brought up a very valid point when he was here, and he was like, I don't know, man. It seems like the referees needed to get some reps in the offseason too. It seemed like they needed to be like watching film or like reffing like league games or like something like that, because like it's like they lost a step or something. Yeah. They're calling some shitty calls. Yeah. Like even call like I've been getting mad even when they call calls on the team we're playing against. Right. I'm like, come on. I'm like, that was a bad call.
It's a lot of inconsistencies.
It's very inconsistent.
Like, and that's the main thing with me with refs is like, okay, I may not agree with your call, but make that call consistent. Right. If you're going to call it on this player, call it on that player too.
Everybody.
All right. If you're going to be calling it here, make sure you call. If you're going to call it in the first quarter, make sure you call it in the fourth quarter. Don't pick and choose your spots because you feel like it. Like if you see something in a specific way, make sure you call it that way.
I agree.
Like it's
and
bullshit.
That makes me exceptionally nervous because James Harden again is the king of drawing the foul.
Right.
And we have very foul centric big men in Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee.
Yep.
They love to get in foul trouble. So
JaVale McGee.
That makes me nervous, but I just trust in the power of LeBron.
You got to.
That LeBron factor is a factor for a reason.
I mean, and AD.
And AD is there too. He's been hooping.
Because they like you think about it, they have zero answer for AD. Or LeBron, like zero answers. LeBron, you can match up more so better with because you could put Covington on him. You could put Tucker on him. But like, what are they going to do with AD? Like, what are you going to do with that?
Know who I think is going to be our X factor in the series against the Rockets? Dwight.
You think so?
Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard. If you watch the last few games, he's getting in a groove. Like his ability on the offensive glass is invaluable. Yeah. Our team averages like 10 offensive rebounds a game. He averages like 5 of them. Yeah. So I think he's going to be a huge factor because there's going to be a lot of opportunity for garbage buckets if they're not making their shots. Yeah. And Dwight's just going to be down there just who gonna box him out?
My only concern with Dwight and really like the other centers as well, I think you're going to see a lot of AD at center that series.
You need to,
because I don't think you're going to be able to play them on the floor when it comes to
that small ball.
Yeah, because you're going to have them spaced out, and will they have that ability to be able to get back to the rim to go get that rebound, or if they
close out
or
if three.
So let's say James Harden, he's pushing, he breaks his man down, he gets into the rim. Dwight crashes in or JaVale crashes in, so now they have a wide open Covington or PJ Tucker in the corner for open threes. Like that can have a lead go from a tie game, so now you're down 12 just like that
quickly.
You know what I'm saying?
So what they're going to need to do is they're going to need to, like you said, run AD at the 5, and when James Harden brings his ass out the game, put Dwight in.
Yeah, that's going to be the key.
Put Dwight in.
Like, it's going to be, and that's another element. Like, coaching is a huge element. Like, when to get these players in and out, when it's like what substitution packages you're going to put together and everything.
Lineups.
What lineups
are so important. That's what's been, I feel like that's been our biggest downfall as Lakers as a team. Yeah. Lineup management has been terrible.
Yeah.
It's like
I wasn't the biggest Frank Vogel guy when he got the job.
Yeah,
I was like, he seemed like he's just kind of like a puppet.
I'm happy he's there for the defensive side. Like he should have been like a defensive coordinator.
I thought they should have gave Ty Lue the job.
Agreed.
Right off jump. Yeah,
Agreed.
I think they should have given it to Ty Lue.
He's just there for now. Next year, Jason Kidd will be our head coach.
Probably. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Jason Kidd's gonna be the head coach. Vogel might still be on the coaching staff, but he's not gonna be the head.
Yeah, I can see that.
So like, I feel like they really brought him there as the voice defensively to help their defensive scheme because the Lakers have been shit the last few years on defense.
Yeah.
And we've been one of the best defensive this year.
Yeah.
So that's solid. Largely in part of obviously AD and LeBron being there, but Frank Vogel's schemes from Indy.
Have you been watching any of the Utah Denver series?
Nope. I love Jokic, but the games are not interesting enough. Like I watched the first one and I was just like, this is boring. I'm not even gonna lie.
You thought that first game was boring?
I did.
Oh man, Donovan Mitchell and Murray going at it.
That was the only element that was cool. Like the rest of the game, it took so long to get to that point. That didn't start happening until like the third quarter where they started really battling each other. Like Donovan Mitchell was just shitting the whole first half. He was just doing whatever he wanted to.
The whole game.
Yeah, like when he came out, I think it was like the second or third play and just straight boomed on whoever was down there. I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what type of time we on today, huh, Donovan? Mm-hmm. Okay, Spider Mitchell is out here today.
Spider is out.
Okay, I see. But like I said, they didn't start really like going at each other until like the third quarter. Murray, he don't get enough talk.
Man, Murray,
he good.
The way he stepped up in that game was impressive.
He good.
Yeah, that boy.
And
good.
Jokic is one of my favorite players because I'm really on this like point center wave right now.
Yeah.
Like I really love the big man that can facilitate.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be something very, very valuable going into the new generation of the league.
That's a fact.
With like how centric the perimeter is,
right?
You're gonna have to have bigs that can operate on the perimeter and play make.
Yeah,
and I feel like Jokic is the archetype of that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine a Jokic type player with athleticism?
I think you kind of almost see that in Miami and Bam Adebayo.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
He's not as skilled as Jokic.
He's not as big either.
And he's not as big. Yeah, Bam is like 6'8".
6'8", 6'9".
6'9", maybe.
Yeah. Jokic is a bona fide 7-footer.
Yeah. Jokic is big as shit.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's a center that can rip and run. Mm-hmm. Like he's leading the fast break.
Bam on a fast break?
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
What about that series too? We didn't talk about the Miami series either.
That series is over. Yeah, that series is over. They like Indiana ain't got no. They missing arguably their best player in Sabonis. Mm-hmm. Malcolm Brogdon's doing the best that he can.
TJ Warren, shout out to TJ Warren. He hooped.
He used up all his juice.
Yeah,
like that. He dropped 50 on my Sixers.
Yeah,
he damn near dropped 60 on my Sixers, and I'm like, yo, we can't stop TJ Warren. Then he goes out and he has another 30, and then another 40. Like he was balling.
He was tripping.
But like you look at when he had that run, it was all field goals.
Yeah,
like he wasn't getting to the free throw line. Mm-mm. Like he just got hot. Like he was just getting buckets. He got hot. But now again in this Miami series, he's back to like just regular TJ Warren. 18 points, 20 points here.
And Miami is a real scrappy team.
I like this Miami team, man. Mm-hmm. I love.
They're sleeper. They're not getting enough attention.
The Bucks. I think they play the Bucks next round.
Their young players are really confident.
That team is going to give the Bucks hell.
I agree.
They're going to give the Bucks hell because the way they shoot the ball, they're the best shooting team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, he's a dog on defense. He can run the offense, and he's able to be that point guard for them and get all their shooters out there. Bam Adebayo, he's an all-star for a reason.
He's a point center, man.
You know what I'm saying? So they run a lot of their offense through Bam Adebayo. You got Duncan Robinson. He might be the best shooter in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Like anytime he's
unconscious.
He's got to the point where anytime that he shoots the ball, I'm surprised that if it doesn't go in.
Yeah, he's unconscious.
It's at that point right now.
He's unconscious right now. He reminds me of like Peja when he was really going off in Sacramento when he was just hitting everything.
Everything. It just goes in.
Just like damn,
it just goes in. Everything just goes in. I think he's shooting like over 50% from three. This shit is dumb right now.
Smooth too.
And then on top of that, he's not just one dimensional. Like the man can go and create a shot. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like catch and shoot, man. If he catch the ball, you on him. All right, I can dribble past you. I can go get to the rim if I need to. Mm-hmm. But that shot is going in. If it's up,
it's wet.
That joint is going in. And they're deep.
Their bench is deep as shit. I'm telling you, Miami. People don't talk about Miami enough.
I got them more respect.
They're gonna give the Bucks some trouble. I agree with you.
They is. And
I think their pace is a matter of the way they play.
Yep.
Their pace is not. I don't think I don't think the Bucks are going to be ready to play their style of play for however many games it takes.
It's going to be tough, man. That's going to be a real good series. This round 2 is going to be legit, man, because you're going to have them, Miami and Milwaukee. And Milwaukee's, they're going to dog shit about Orlando. Like, people was overreacting. Orlando beat Milwaukee game 1. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Like, they did this last year against Toronto. They got game 1. Come on, it was fun.